Namandavats, 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 namandavats. Good morning again, everyone. And good morning to all of you at home watching live on stream. Today is May 22nd, 2022. My name is Reverend Irene Goto. I am one of the volunteer minister's assistants with Tokudo here at Seattle Betsuin Temple. I'm pleased to be with you today, and it's so good to see so many of you here. The Goto we just sang is one that I chose for its mention of a flower. Of course, how sweetly the lotus grows is in reference to a special flower, the lotus. It has special significance in Buddhism. It carries the meaning of spiritual awakening and purity. It symbolizes the ability to rise out of challenges and move toward the light of wisdom. It grows out of muddy, turbid waters. It can symbolize the Pure Land where Amida resides. If you look carefully at the Amida statue in our altar, you'll see Amida is standing inside the lotus flower. So that's a short explanation of the lotus flower in Buddhism. I don't think the lotus flower grows very naturally here in Seattle, but we do have water lilies, and they grow on the surface of the water, and their flowers, but the flowers of the lotus grow high above the water. They have a stem that grows up. But we do have an abundance of flowers that grow very well up here in Seattle. And I would like to share with you how flowers have recently allowed me to feel a bit closer to Amida Buddha. Please join me in Gassho as I read a Pure Land poem by Master Shindan. Beams of light, 3,600,000 billion in number, shine brilliantly from within each flower. There is no place they do not reach. Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Many years ago, I asked the late Reverend Rinban Doe Fuji to explain Amida to me. He pointed outside his office window and he said, "Just look out there. There is Amida." Although I could see the evergreen shrub that he was pointing to, I was bewildered. Today, I realize that Reverend Fuji may have been pointing to the evergreen shrub outside and to all that was outside. Today, experiencing the beauty that surrounds me helps me feel embraced by the light of Amida Buddha. The beauty that I see comes from nature, particularly from flowers. This sad arrangement is from my garden. In this month of May, the flowers not only welcome spring, but celebrate May Day, Mother's Day, Daniel Shonin's memorial, Shinan Shonin's birthday, and next week, Memorial Day. The flowers seem especially beautiful and bountiful this year, and perhaps they are lasting longer. My mother would lament that by Memorial Day, the blossoming was finished. But the peonies are just starting to bloom now. Perhaps there still will be blooms from our gardens to take to the cemeteries for Memorial Day next week. This is a beautiful time of year. Beams of light, 3,600,000 billion, shine brilliantly. The flowers take turns blooming. First the crocuses, the daffodils, plum, then the cherry, tulips, pear, azalea, rhododendron, wisteria. And now the irises are blooming. There is no place they do not reach. Perhaps the 2-year pandemic has allowed me to pause and ponder what is in front of my eyes. They are just outside my window. Perhaps it is just my age, being retired, having grown my children, and having more time to directly interact with the soil, weeds, vegetables, and flowers. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What does your eye behold as beautiful? My mother used to urge me to take flower arranging lessons. I couldn't understand why they had to be arranged. They are perfect just where they grow, outside or in pots. As you can see, I didn't take up my mother's recommendation to take lessons. Now perhaps their beams of light are finally reaching me. Now the flowers urge me to bring them indoors and arrange them to brighten the living room and my home altar. Now I eagerly look outside my window to see what's blooming. They brighten my day. During this time, when so many in the world are suffering, I feel I should not be enjoying the flowers so much. But just when I was feeling this sort of survivor's guilt, I came across an explanation that one of our Shinshu teachers, John Paraskevopoulos, writes in his book, Call of the Infinite. It's a discourse of the Buddha and reads, "It is told that once Ananda, the beloved disciple of Buddha, saluted his master and said, 'Half the holy life, O Master, is friendship with the beautiful, association with the beautiful, communion with the beautiful.' 'Say not so, Ananda, say not so,' the master replied. 'It is not half of the holy life. It is the whole of the holy life.'" And Reverend Paraskevopoulos himself writes of beautiful encounters. "In these experiences lies proof that amidst the uncertainties and perplexities of the world, we can be enveloped in the calm and blessedness that beauty is able to bestow on us, a grace that we do not expect or feel we deserve. This is yet another way of living in the presence of Amida Buddha, here and now." So, as I am admiring the flowers, I am being enveloped in the calm and blessedness of living in the presence of Amida Buddha. In that moment, I can easily say, Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you, Amida, for this encounter. My life is so easy. It is especially so while I am celebrating our release from the grip of COVID, albeit guardedly, and while I hear the news of wars, poverty, disease, fires, floods, earthquake, political and economic uncertainty, I can celebrate the beauty of our flowers, greenery, and gardens in Seattle. Reverend Paraskevopoulos explains the feeling beautifully in a way that I am unable. He writes, "The compelling nature of beauty cannot but inspire us, the sense that it is permeated by the highest reality, infinite light and life. By honoring the beauty in the world, we are able to integrate in the most direct way the life of Amida into our own. Beauty connects us much more so than morality to the very heart of things, And is not the spiritual contemplation of beauty a powerful meditation in itself? Beams of light. $3,600,000 billion shine brilliantly. While I walk through my neighborhood, bright green leaves overhang the walkway. Red, yellow, and blue, and white flowers along the side. So beautiful. There is a house that has a display of flowers for Ukraine, decorated with Ukrainian blue and yellow colors. And a jar with a QR code is there to make donations. The woman and her daughter send the donations to their homeland. There are also wisteria blooming here and there, and they remind me of Shinran Shonin's birthday. There is no place they do not reach. There is an especially poignant memory I have from probably over 10 years ago. A senior resident in a long-term care facility where I was working was in her room, lying in bed, looking out her window. It was wintertime that day. When I entered her room, she was talking lovingly and intentionally to a single leaf twisting in the breeze, dangling from a bare branch. She was saying, "Look at you, aren't you lovely?" dancing in the air. Dear Brownie was no longer able to walk. She had trouble hearing, and her mind was confused. But she was kind, polite, and sweet, and she could find beauty in what was left in her world, in a single leaf. The final thought that I have on flowers is about the song Hana wa Saku, or Flowers Will Bloom. It is a song that was written by Shunji Iwai and Yoko Kanno to support NHK's reconstruction efforts in the areas hardest hit by the 2011 Great Eastern Japan earthquake. The song itself is beautiful. The lyrics are soothing, and I think it conveys the spirit of Shinran Shonin's Pure Land poem. You might be interested to look it up. Hana wa Saku, Flowers Will Bloom. In closing, please join me in 1 minute of silent meditation to remember all who are suffering in the world, that they may rise above the muddy waters and move towards the light of wisdom, like the lotus. Mokto. Please join me in Gassho. Beams of light, 3,600,000 billion in number, shine brilliantly from within each flower. There is no place they do not reach. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandabs, namandabs, namandabs.